Howdy, it's the Game Impulse here. Tyler, Keith,
Yo.
no Sam on this video. Sadly. But Sam's right here playing Black Ops 2. And we're going to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 2. This is our first game review. So yeah, we're just going to dive into it. Keith can go first.
Alright, so...
What do you think about Black Ops 2?
I love this game now, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, leading up to, like, after Modern Warfare 3 came out, and they announced that there was going to be a second Black Ops, and that they were going to go into the future like they did. Like, I initially wasn't at all excited for this game. I was just like, you know, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to play zombies, and that's probably all I'm going to do. And that's all I intended on doing when I got the game. I didn't intend on playing multiplayer that much. But this game was a nice surprise. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, what was your first opinion on it? And then we'll go into, like, the campaign.
Yeah, I thought when they put the trailer out and they were going into the future and there was, like, horses and shit, I was like, this is going to be stupid. This is where Call of Duty franchise is just going to go downhill. But how I was ever wrong, man. I was really wrong. This is a great game.
Yeah. So the campaign, which actually is, especially when compared to Black Ops 1, is a real upgrade.
Yes.
The Black Ops 1 campaign, I don't know, like, I guess it was more realistic on how, I guess, you know, these kind of missions would have went on and how you just kind of go from place to place. That just didn't, you know, I mean, it wasn't a bad campaign, it just, I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me. The Black Ops campaign is honestly my least favorite Call of Duty campaign that they've done since COD 4. But, you know, this one's really good. You know, I'm not really gonna spoil much, but I mean, they've already said this. Like, 2/3 of the game takes place in the year 2025, and like a third of it takes place in the 1980s. Also, I'm not spoiling much, you know. So you know, you get to play as Mason again in the 1980s portion. Woods is alive. I mean, he was in the trailer, so I mean, and I really enjoyed the campaign of this game. I liked how they had campaign loadouts. You could actually choose what guns you wanted to use, and you could kind of put perks on, which was an interesting idea. Like, the missions were kind of different. There was, you know, the classic Call of Duty stealth-based missions, and then there was, you know, the free firefight ones. Honestly, it makes the 1980s portion campaign makes it better, but I mean, kind of like how Black Ops 1 was kind of like the unofficial sequel to World at War, yet the only connections it had to World at War was Reznov was in it, and, you know, the whole Project Nova mission, and zombies. Zombies and the 1980s portion are really the only thing that's connecting this game to Black Ops 1. This game could exist completely separate, and it would probably be fine if it existed completely separate from Black Ops. But I mean, I guess it adds a little bit to the story that they included that in. It's also the Strike Force missions, which is like kind of like a weird RTS kind of thing, and they use a lot of the multiplayer maps for that. And you have to defend and attack objectives. That's pretty cool. And the other thing is, like, they made a huge deal in the trailer about, oh, you know, they're gonna take over our automated, like, military systems, and they're gonna attack us. And honestly, like, only like the last like couple of missions even remotely have anything to do with that, which I thought was really weird. But I mean, that's probably part of the reason why I love the campaign, because that you know, if they based the entire campaign on that, I'd probably not like this campaign nearly as much.
The campaign in this game is phenomenal. It's such a, like Keith alluded to, so much better than Black Ops. Like, if you asked me to talk about the Black Ops campaign or what my favorite part was, I can't tell you. It was a very forgettable campaign, in my opinion. This wasn't forgettable. This actually had a very engaging story that, at first, I liked the first mission where you're just, like, charging and you're just fighting all those guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That was a very cool mission, and, you know, it's, of course, the high adrenaline, very cinematic, very explosive action that Call of Duty is known for, and it just starts right away, kind of like all the games, they start with a bang. And then the second mission came in, where you're kind of like sneaking around. It's more the futuristic mission, and I was like, I really like this. This is kind of weird, so I took a break from it. Then the story started to develop more, and I definitely enjoyed it. Is it the greatest campaign I ever played? Of course not, but is it solid? It definitely is. I would choose the Modern Warfare campaigns over this, though, but this is very, very close to them. I like how they did a pretty good job connecting the past and to the future. I thought that was pretty neat. Some of the missions I felt like are kind of missions like you've done this before. If you've played the previous Call of Duties, you know, you've snuck around and sniped this guy. You blew this up. You had to save this person. You know, I mean, you kind of done it before, but it was very just solidly crafted that you enjoyed going through all those missions. I like how in the beginning of the missions you could choose your weapon loadout and stuff. That was kind of neat how you can choose your weapons, you can customize them kind of like you can in multiplayer. That was kind of cool. I like how there was like kind of challenges to do that kind of add some replayability. And I like how the story differs depending on
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
your choices and your actions at certain moments in the game. And you can only get certain achievements by doing a certain thing. You know, it adds a lot of replayability. What, like, oh, I really want to get this achievement, I have to go back and play it. And I wouldn't mind going back and playing it because the missions were very cool. They were fun. But it's not anything that you haven't seen before in a Call of Duty game. It's very high action, very, very intense, and it's a good campaign. What about the multiplayer?
Well, one quick note about the campaign that I thought, because like again, like I forgot the whole sandbox style, which could be as simple as deciding if you're gonna get up, like the game letting you decide, oh, do you want to get up and get in everybody's face, or do you want to snuff? Simple things like that. But I mean, Turk's kind of done it before. There was a bit of it in World of War. Like in the end, you could decide which one of the guys you wanted to save, but it really didn't affect the gameplay that much. I mean, it was like, oh, you get to save the sergeant or the corporal or whatever, and that's all that you know. But I mean, so it's not new. The multiplayer.
The Strike Force missions too were kind of neat.
Yeah, it's an interesting, like you said, like, you know, we've done this before. They were an interesting take on some of the missions, like.
Yeah.
Because you can control like the, whatever they call it.
The units and stuff. You can control the claw.
Yeah, the claw, and then like or you could go overhead and you can just kind of direct them on where to go. It's a lot more difficult that way, but it's nice because then you can just like, okay, where are all the enemies at? Okay, I'm gonna send guys over here, and then control a guy and fight.
They kind of spiced the campaign up from, you know, you could like be more of a strategic thing rather than just, you know, gunning it out. And it was cool. Anyway, let's move on to the multiplayer.
Oh yeah, so the multiplayer again. I was very skeptical about the multiplayer at first. This was, I mean, I don't know. It didn't. At first, I didn't think it was going to click, and it's a very fun multiplayer. It took kind of because Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer was disappointing. Like it wasn't bad, but it just didn't feel right. Like it was a fast pace. It's more you're more supposed to run and gun and and have not camp and kind of make it more fun for everybody. But I don't know, it just didn't work. This game works because like they added score streaks into Modern Warfare 3, and you get things for more score, but then you didn't get any extra points for doing things. Like, oh yeah, you get points for capping a flag, but I mean you get just as many points for killing. Now it's like you capture the flag and then you forget about it, and then in this game you get like an extra couple of points for defending a flag or for picking up a dog tag. Like
it's more incentive.
There's more incentive to actually play the objective in this game. The weapons aren't. There's noticeably less weapons in this game, but I think the weapons are just in general. The weapons are really good. Some of the ammo clips are just obnoxious though. Like the MP7 and the PDW have like 40 bullet clips, and like all the LMGs have like 125 bullet clips, which. The only thing that's ever come close to that was the M60 in Black Ops, which had 100, and even then it only had 200 spare. But like, I'm just kind of like, this is, spray country. But I mean, other than that, I think these are probably some of the best maps that's come out since MW2. I think for multiplayer, the kill streaks are really good, and I like the futuristic element because they could do a little bit more with some of the. Like kill streaks and secondaries. Like Hunter Killer Drone is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because you just throw it and you forget about it. And you get a free kill. Or you destroy an airplane. but it's still. But then on the flip side, it's one of the most depressing things if you don't have blind eye on, and then you hear the beeping noise that a hunter killer drone is locked onto you, and you're like, oh shit, because you know you're gonna die unless you can get inside in like 2 seconds. And then like there's shock charges, which are really really gay, but I mean they're really fun to use just because you shock somebody and then they have to move slow, and then they watch you gun them down, which is really humiliating. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's not much else to talk about the multiplayer. The kill streaks are really good. I like how they've kind of gone into more like a lot of them are really close, but then like so there's some original ideas to the kill streaks. Like I said, the hunter killer drone. You can control sentry guns. And there's a lot of control ones, and they brought back old stuff with like the Health Storm missile is kind of like a Predator drone, and like the Lightning Strikes are basically mortar teams. I really, really enjoy this multiplayer.
Yeah, I enjoy the multiplayer as well. This is, like he said, the best multiplayer since Modern Warfare 2. I almost want to say it's the most fun I've had multiplayer since fucking the first Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 2 was awesome, but then people started hacking it, and it wasn't that fun anymore. This is just fun all around. This game's multiplayer is now addicting again to me. When I turned my Xbox on, I was like, well, I should play this game or that game. I'm like, nah, I'll just play some more multiplayer in Black Ops 2. They have your usual game modes. I believe they added Hardpoint. That wasn't in Modern Warfare 3.
They added Hardpoint.
Hardpoint. It's not anything entirely new. It's kind of like King of the Hill, but it's still pretty fun to play.
Added multi-team, which is,
Yeah, multi-team. They added that. Cool. That's cool. And I think the best change that they've done in this, like Keith said, was the score streaks. It creates more incentive to go defend a flag, or to even destroying equipment. You get 50 points for.
Yeah, you get like
something.
You get 50 points. Like if you throw like a concussion grenade and it affects somebody and then they die, you get like a 50-point assist.
Like,
I'm like, why not?
You get points for helping your team out, and you can get score streaks for entirely just helping your team. You get points for having just the UAV up. I mean, that's a pretty genius idea. It makes it more fair to maybe the person that's not able to go ham all the time and isn't like a person that does a lot of killing, is maybe more of a support player or something. I mean, it helps that person out. I think that's just a really cool change. I noticed there's a lot of score streaks in this too. Like, there's a fair amount, which is neat. There's a lot of variety. This multiplayer, I feel, is a lot more balanced. The maps are phenomenal. Some of the best maps since Modern Warfare 2. There's a couple maps in Modern Warfare 3 that I really enjoyed, but overall, I can't stand Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer. I felt that it was ruined. I barely have played it because I didn't like the run and gun style. I like how in this game, if you want to camp, you can camp, but somebody's going to kill you eventually. It's not like you can camp and control the whole map and the whole game. You're going to die eventually. And that's cool to me. I mean, it feels more like an actual, a battle instead of just running around and killing everybody. That's just me. This is a fun multiplayer. Keith kind of summed it all up. I really enjoyed it. Some of the weapons are annoying, but some are really fun. But yeah, it's a good multiplayer.
Yeah, I thought of two things. Like what you said, that's I like how in this game, I lost my train of thought. All right, I'll get back to it. But the other thing I was gonna say besides what I forgot was it's also nice because they kind of they combined the I guess the Modern Warfare 2 style of kill streaks to the Black Ops, which is you don't get, since it's all points driven, you don't get like 100 points for a kill with your kill streak. You get like 25, or if you get like dogs, it's like 15. Cool. So it's nice that they add up, but you're not gonna, if you get a kill streak, unless like your kill streak is like the next one over, or like within like 100 or 50 points with next one, you're not gonna get wealthy from a kill streak unless you completely just wreck them. And then it's also, I feel like if you get a higher kill streak in this game, it's a lot more skill.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you notice in Modern Warfare 2, basically, Modern Warfare 2, all you had to do is you get a hit, alright, boom, just get 7 kills without dying. It's not that difficult. You get a Harrier strike, and then boom, if you get a Harrier strike, you're almost guaranteed to get a chopper gun. And then you get a chopper gunner, and then you get a nuke. And then that was, like, how people did it. And I mean, it was like, it's just, you know, it was like, oh god, AC-130. You know, it was just a common occurrence. Now it's like, oh shit, somebody has dogs. Or they have a swarm? Oh crap. Like,
But you can
that person does good. But then it's really difficult to do that good, though.
Yeah. Zombies. I'm not going to talk too much about zombies because I don't have too much experience with it, and I'm not the best at it. You can ask Keith. But I like in the transit game mode, how they change things up. You know, moving the maps bigger. There's a lot more objectives that you can do, and it just makes it more fun. They took something in World at War and somewhat in Black Ops 2 that was kind of bare bones. There wasn't much to it. You just try to survive, and they really just beefed it up, and there's a lot more to it. It's fun. But that's kind of all I'm going to say about it.
You know, zombies was one of the biggest things that I loved from either World War or Black Ops. And again, like I said, I like Transit. I'm not gonna talk too much about Transit. Me and my friend Reggie, we made another video. We made a video where we basically dissect Transit completely, and we talk about that. The only thing there's only like a couple things that kind of involve Transit that I'll talk about here. But like, I like Grief, because Grief's a new game mode that they added, which is a team of 4 versus a team of 4, and you try to out-survive each other. And I like it because it's basically just survival, in which you can only play it on 2 maps. You play it on the town, and then, you know, there's no pack-a-punch, and, you know, you can do little things, like if you get an insta-kill, the insta-kill only works for your team. You get a max ammo, only your team gets max ammo, and also, you know, usually you really need that max ammo, so if you get it from the other team, you know, they're gonna have a lot more difficulty at that point. And if you get a nuke, yeah, it kills all the zombies, but only your team gets the 400 points. And they added this new thing, which is like a dead piece of meat, where you can throw it either at an enemy player, if you really want to be gay, you can throw it at a teammate, or you can throw it at the ground, and basically all the zombies will run at wherever you threw the meat, and so it's basically like a monkey bomb. It's really interesting. I guess that's how you can add grief to the enemy team. It's really interesting. I like survival is okay in this game. I love Transit. Transit's amazing in my opinion, but I hate that they just kind of got rid of survival. Like survival, I see no incentive to play it. If I'm not gonna play Transit, I'm gonna play Grief because, you know, why not? You play on the bus station. There's no perks, and there's the box, and then there's nothing. So it's basically like the original map, and so you're not gonna last long. You play on the farm. There's just the 4 original perks and a mystery box spawn, and that's it. And again, you're probably not going to last too long. And then finally on the town, they introduced stamina and and the pack punch. But like, yeah, they just kind of they just made Transit the main thing.
Yeah.
But then, other than that, I mean, I like they kind of started fresh with zombies, because like in Moon, there's so many things in Moon. There's literally 8 perks that you can buy in Moon, and, you know, there's the hacking device, which, you know, you could hack just about everything in the game, and then, you know, you'll get points, or you can open a door, and then it'll shut behind you, or you can re-roll the mystery box, and if you hack the mystery box again, it turns the gun into a power-up, so any of your teammates could pick it up, and I like how they brought some of that back in Transit with the bank and the
banks.
And the gun system. I really like that.
The
refrigerator. So I mean, like, because I guess they wanted to start new with this, and I can understand, but there's some of the perks that I miss. I miss PhD. I miss Mule Kick. Like, I didn't really like Mule Kick as much in Black Ops. Like, I use it every once in a while, but I was just kind of like, oh, I mean, I could just get, you know, something else, and I'll be just as fine. I don't need a 3rd gun. But now that's not there, I'm like, oh, I miss Mule Kick, and you really need it for Transit, because since you're moving around a lot, I think they actually made it less likely to get a max ammo. And they tweaked the perks a little bit too. The only one that I'm 100% aware of is they actually tweaked double tap. I found out, instead of, it doesn't double the amount of your firing rate. adds 50% to your firing rate, but then it also doubles the amount of damage you do. So that's really cool. Double tap is kind of a little bit more useful now. There's actually a little bit more incentive to get it. And then if you're except for like the ray gun and the RPG, when you have double tap, if you hip fire, you fire 2 bullets at once instead of 1. So I mean, it's just they kind of made double tap better, and I like how Treyarch, like I said, bottled it down, kind of made it the bare bones or as close to bare bones, only put the necessary in, and they made changes and improvements where it was necessary. And that's why I think this is probably some of the best zombies I've played ever, honestly. So yeah.
What would you give this game?
Yeah, I give this game an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. I love this game.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It's a very solid game. I'd recommend it. Even if you're wary, you're like, hey, I don't know if I want another Call of Duty. This is fun. This is the long video. So there's just a lot to talk about with this. So thanks for watching. If you watched the whole thing, with the Gaming Pulse, check out Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Thanks for watching.